It is September 24, 2024, and I come to know these spirit things more now. I was thinking that I should not make any more steps, but it's going on the steps to understand the spirit world and that I have contact with. And it have been more deep thinking when it's about these ancestors that show up, that on my mother's side, that is from Syria. One man is from Syria, where the war was, and then is some women there that is about my daughter's age, and they are from Palestine. And so I knew it could happen, these things, because my mother's DNA, my DNA, reached down to where there was no really Israel. It was a landscape only, and people in groups was after their fathers called, and not a community. It was in geography places, and but not really for a long time ago, when they were in war with Arabic countries, and they were in captivity. They were holding in prison, and there, of course, many of those women that was kidnapped, they become pregnant with those people that have kidnapped them, and that's how the branch is going out from sometimes. So I can understand that, because my mother's line is going down to when we were life, when it's come life on earth. It's hard to know exactly, because they couldn't write it up. It was only oral speaking oral tradition, and that doesn't hold the truth many times. People misunderstood things, and they were not so smart to understand things. So it's hard to know the deepest in this DNA. But what is written down is what I go for. And my mother's line is those famous people, like Caesar in room, and it's Cleopatra in one, and so there I can understand the deeper things, but not the deepest that we can't get. It's more like a guess. Those that do their research, that think they know everything, but they don't know. But in this, how I get contact with heaven, is make things come true, and I understand what's going on, and I want to find this my latest DNA match on my mother that is from Syria and Palestine, and come to know how did it come to the same city as me, and they can ask me how I come to this city, because this is not my birthplace. This is not. I have not lived here when I was a child. I have not lived here. I come here in 2004. I come from United States, and I've been homeless in 3.5 years, and I was tired in my brain and have been in so much evil things, and I only wanted to come back to Sweden to rest. And when I say these things, that's why I have this with the brain, that it doesn't work. It's tired, my brain. And so I come back to Sweden in May 2004, and I have no place to stay, and I didn't have any money, and I have to start up with some identification and start a bank account. Everything have been gone from me, and I need to start over again with my life. And so I had lived just before I left to United States. I have lived in Landskrona. That's another city on the side of this city, and they told me in the city hall they didn't want me to come back to that city. They say that to me: you are kicked out from this city, and you come never back again. And so I was standing in the social security, and I didn't have a place to sleep in, and I tried to tell them that I have been in 3.5 years in United States as homeless, and I was tired, and I want to rest now in my own country. But they didn't believe me. They thought I had been homeless in Sweden and laying under the bridge, laying outside. And what homeless people do, most of people that do drugs or drinking, these things they thought I had done, so they don't feel any guilt. They don't feel that they needed to help me. But then it come a woman, and they gave me to her to get to be my the one that I go and talk to and get some support money to, and she called the city where I left from to the United States. She called them and she heard that they didn't want me to come back to the city. So she was confused what to do, but then she said, if you sign your in at our church here in Helsingborg, this city, I can help you. She said, if you just now are you written into the other city that doesn't want you to come back. But if you go to the church and write you in to this city, I can help you, she said. So she helped me. And I go to the church and sign me in for this city. And then she could help me. So I be one of those that the Social Security wanted to test if we can live in a normal house together with other people. So I got an apartment, but very, very bad apartment. And so this is how I started my life in this city. And I didn't know why I lived in this city. I have no connection with this city. I was thinking like that. I felt like I was a stranger in this city because I was not connected to anyone. And but at least I could get an apartment and have my own place. But it was this house where all these people come to live that do drugs and drinking and have been in prison. They could live in that house. And it was when I watching television, it was so loudly sounds around me. I couldn't hear what they say on the television. And then when I wake up about 6 o'clock in the morning, there was loudly sound still, because those that have been sleeping, they have started to drinking in the morning and started to be loudly. So it was 24 hours loudly sounds. And one evening I have talked about this, but you maybe don't remember what was going on. But one evening there was so much party going on in the house, so they couldn't be in the apartments. They were sitting in the staircase, in the stairs outside, and were drinking and loudly, and I couldn't, I come back from almost be killed many times in the United States, and then I come to this house with so much going on, with criminal people and drinking and drugs people and crazy people. And so that evening I went out from the house, and then I go down to the police station, and I ask, of course I was not myself in this time, because I was stressed in my brain. And I asked the police, do you have any house where you let people sleep over the night so I can sleep? I can't sleep where I live, I told them. And she that I talked to, she say, we don't have that if you are not disturbing in some way. So we can't. But I can tell the social security that you have been here and ask for a place to stay. So I really make sure that she knew my name and where I lived. And then when I come, she said, you can sleep on in the railway station when it's open at, I think, 4 or 5 o'clock. You can sleep there and then go home in the daytime. And but I didn't do that. I have never been in that way to sleep in such places. So I was thinking, I walk home and I will see what's going on there and see if I can sleep there. And when I come to the house, there was an ambulance standing and the police was there. And then I saw that someone have going through the door. We had a glass door. The frame was like wood, and then it was glass to the outside. And someone had been so drunk, so he have, or she have falling out with a head in the door, and it was blood, and the police was there, and I was thinking, this is so crazy that I need to sleep in this such a house. But I could go up to my apartment and sleep because I knew the police was there. So they are not going to do any screaming and party and these things. And then the social service security. They told me that they knew that I have been to the police station, and they say, we have another place for you to live in. And they took me to a forest, and in that forest there were like your own home. It was those small houses for people that are working on the roads, for example. They have those small houses where they can sit down and drink coffee and relax a little. So I got one of those houses. But it was people doing drugs and drinking around me. And they come cars there because people wanted to buy drugs or alcoholic beverage from those wagons home. And when the when the fall come in September, October, it started to be dark in the evenings. And I told the Social Security, I'm too scared. I can't walk in the forest in the darkness when I know there is lots of druggies that is there in the forest. I can't go home. The only thing I can do is to go home early when it's still light outside. And that's today here is it about 7 o'clock in the evening when it starts to be dark, and it's be darker and darker. So they gave me another place to stay, and it was a real apartment in an ordinary house. And I started my life there, the real life. And so it's I was she that helped me in the social service. She got a new job to drive around and check out the apartments, how we were doing in our apartments. And she come to my home and some few times, and then suddenly one day she never come back again because she have got to be the manager for social service in my city. And I was thinking that's how God reward her for, because she was helping me to get a real home. It took a little time, but she was working with me, and then she didn't need to come back to check out me because she knew I was not drinking or did some drugs, and I had never been in prison. I had never been taken by the police. So I was only an ordinary person with no drinking or drug problem. So she let me be. And then it showed up when I asked if I could get my own home, because I didn't have the leash on that place I live in. That belonged to the social service, and I didn't have anything that was mine. And I asked if I could get my own apartment with a lease that says my name on. And then they find out that they have forgotten me. They say, we have forgotten you. It was 11 years until I got my own lease for my home. 11 years homeless. And I was never real homeless in Sweden, but I didn't have my own. And I was frightened to lose my home. So I couldn't do anything that was loudly sound. I couldn't do. I tried to hold me back in a secret. If a neighbor have blamed me for doing something, I was thinking I maybe is out from my home. So I was very scared in 11 years. And that's where I got this illness that the doctor don't understand, that everything I'm going through, how abused I was. I was abused without being hit on. There is a mental abuse also that they did. And I understand about doing my DNA. I can see that it's much evil in my DNA, in history. It have been total crazy people. So it's no wondering that my brother is total crazy. And my son, he's total crazy also. Yesterday, my daughter chat with me, and she told me that she is friend with my son and his past girlfriend, where he have the children with this woman. He have his 2 children, and they are friends with my daughter. And I tell her every time she's talking about them, I say, you have to be careful. Don't go with what they are saying. You can say yes or no, but don't think like they think. Then you're going to lose your mind. Because she was telling me now that they were have going to the court, and my daughter didn't know what it was about, but she have written on the Facebook, this mother of my grandkids, she have written that she is in the court against my son. So now are they back to fight those two? Because they don't have any enemies just now. Because I have told her that she said that she is going to take my grandkids away from me, that I will never be their grandmother. And I told her that that's okay for me, because you can't take away that I am their grandmothers, because my son made those kids, and he is my son, so you can't take that away, that I am a grandmother. You can take away the kids as much as you like to do, but you can't take away that I once was grandmother to them. So she, and I knew it should be going very well when I started to do like a podcast on YouTube, that I talk about this kind of people, those mental sick people, what they are doing, because I have a great example of my son and his ex-woman, whatever they are, but I believe that she can get him to do whatever she wants by giving him sex. And my son have no new woman, so he longing for to be with a woman, and she use it. And now they are angry at each other again. It took some years, but now they are back to the fighting. And my daughter say that, why don't the social service, why don't they help those two kids to come away from those crazy people? And that's what I am here on earth to do, to find out what are people doing about suffering people, what they act on, what I'm telling them. No one have helped me in all these years, and now I have someone that is sending me money, so I can at least breathe, because I don't have so much money, as I am not working for people. I have been working for God and for humans, but not ordinary work, so I get some money, and I don't get any retirement either. So this is my daughter. She don't understand what's going on with her brother, half brother is it, and the kids, and she's very frustrated. But I say to her that she don't need to think about it. Only stay away from it, because they they are working against each other, and like now it's in the court again. And how long will they be in the court and fighting over the children? And it's crazy. Why don't the social service doing anything when they see they are in the court the whole time? And I have been talking to the social service, but they don't. They say I don't have the power to do anything. If my son doesn't want me to be involved in those two kids, then I can't do anything. And I have talked to the police also, and they say they are sorry because the Swedish laws tell them to not involved in this. Even if the kids are suffering, they don't do anything, because my son have the kids, and he seems to be okay for them, and it's total crazy. So I only tell you this, what's going on that front, and then I lay that behind me. Go behind me, Satan, because I don't want to have that in my brain, thinking about that when I do those things for God, and I want to be in the light. I don't want to be in the darkness. So that's what I wanted to tell you about, that I be more and more in to understand what the spirit world are doing and what they want me to do, and that it was not accident that I come to this city once and am in the city, because when I did my DNA 2016, I found out that all these wealthy men and women in my this city history, they are related to me. They are my ancestors. So and the royal family, they have before, in the past, they have a summer house, a castle here in this city, but then they gave that castle away to the city. So it have been many of my ancestors that have been very, very rich and famous, and that have helped this city. And then that's why I should come here. And in that way, they tell me now, they're saying that their thought about me, that I should get help in this city, because I was related to those that built up this city. But I don't get any help, and not my grandkids either. And that's how the world is for me. That's how I look at the world. That is, it's working for the evil. It doesn't work for God. It's working for the evil. It's working to have control over us, to destroy everything, and take control in everything in an evil way. So that's I'm going now. If it's hold up the rain and the sun is coming, then I will drive to the house where my ancestors from Syria is living and talk to them about our connection. So God bless you, and I hope I get more preaching for you, because you want me to preach. And it's I am going to talk next time about women and preaching in the church. That I can say so much that Paul, Apostle Paul, he was not born in that time with Jesus. He had some churches, and those churches he was talking about, but he was not talking to all the churches. So in that way that he was have started churches, in those churches it was forbidden to preach if you were a woman. And then I have people coming to understand that it should be in all churches. But it was in Paul's church. It should be only men that preaching. That's what I come to know now. And I'm going to preach about it better maybe next time I'm recording. So God bless you, and thank you for listening.